Hey, hi, this is Coach Hall, and welcome to the Monday Motivational Meeting here. It's November 8th, 2021. I'm going to flip around my screen here so you can see what we're going to be talking about today. And today's message is really about motivation and regaining your motivation. You might hear some background music going on. I think the whole family right now is trying to regain our mojo. We've been going through a bit of a rough spell here in the household. A lot of people in one house trying to make it all work, and I will talk a little bit about that in a few moments. But before we get into the topic of the day, let's do a little bit of what's going on in the group. And we're at a steady 76 for membership. November is getting off to a pretty good start for those of you that are coming through Udemy. Still looking for some activity to happen with my Baby Sparks affiliation, my arrangement partnership with them. They're going through a rebranding process, and so it probably won't happen until the beginning of the year, so we don't have a lot of activity happening over there. My school, they just began to launch. We still haven't gotten anybody in. By the way, guys, there's still those incredible discount tickets available for you. They're actually coupons. I think you get these courses for $7, which is way cheaper than Udemy, and you don't have to wait for a sale. So just throwing that out there to remind you guys. And if you didn't see that before, just drop me a little message here. Hey, what are you talking about? I can take these courses that I'm paying, sometimes as much as $99 or $199 on Udemy. That sometimes the sale will come in and maybe I get it down for $10.99 or $12.99. You can get any of those courses at my school for $7. Okay, so that's available to you. All right, so let's talk about this idea of motivation and regaining your motivation. I mention this because actually I woke up today wondering what it was I was going to talk to you guys about. I had an idea over the weekend. I had some ideas. I had one bunch of ideas. Ideas always pop in my head. I started scripting things out. But I kind of woke up today, I wouldn't say on the wrong side of the bed, but it was just kind of like, I don't know if I want to keep doing what it is that I'm doing. Have you ever felt like that before? Have you ever felt like you've lost your umph? Maybe your spark, that your motivation's just gone and you just don't feel like doing it. It's like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? It's not that I was unmotivated to get out of bed. I was excited about the day, got up, made my bed, drank my water, walked the dog, went and played almost 3 hours of pickleball exercise, feel fantastic. But thinking about jumping on here and doing this motivation and just continuing doing what we're doing in this group, I just didn't have it today. I was like, what's going on? Where's my spark gone? Where's my oomph? Where's my motivation? And I would imagine that this is something that's occurred for everybody. It certainly has happened to me. And it seems like I've been going through this more lately than ever before. At the beginning of the year, kind of powered through, just kept going. I'm always a positive guy, keep going, positive thinker. But this has been a very, very trying year. And I know I'm not alone because I know that, everybody's going through some stuff. The last couple of years have been really tough on a lot of people. But it just feels like every time I start to make a little headway in my work this year, that something important comes up that takes me off track and detours me and puts me on a holding pattern. And the thing is every time that I shift gears like this, and I respond to these episodes in life, it takes me a little bit longer each time to get really back on track and get back into the swing of things. It's just it's been really hard because there's like a lot of the stuff I'm going through isn't something that you can just go and fix and make better. It's really been a big health issue for me. The big issues that have been the same issues basically that we've been going through for 2 years, but COVID has been the big health issue, right? And it's put a lot of stress on people, not just with the health and people actually dying from it or getting very sick and the long-term effects and all that, but from the social aspect of it, it has cost people wealth, it's cost them their jobs, it's cost money, housing, and my family's been through all of these things. I've got grown-up children and they've all lost their jobs, they've all had some difficulty with money, they've had difficulty with housing, trying to find housing, being almost on the street. I mean, it's been very difficult for my 4 kids this year. And, it puts a stress on relationships as well. And those are the big 3. You talk about life coaching, the big 3 are health, wealth, and relationships. That's what all the gurus say. And, I try to test the gurus and push the gurus and think outside the box, but they're pretty much got it down pat. It's these 3 things that we most tend to go to life coaches for, or feel like we need some help from somebody in these areas: health, wealth, and relationships. That's what we search for when we do our Google searches and things like that. I've got some issues with my health, Google. I've got some issues with some money, Google. I need some help with relationships, Google. This is what we're doing, right? Well, for me, the health has been the real biggie one, because my own personal health has been okay. In fact, I've gotten really good news. Last week I went to get my skin cancer screening that I do now every 6 months, which is great, because it used to be like I was going every month for a while and they were always finding stuff and taking stuff off of me. Well, I've gone now for 2 years in a row and gotten a clean slate, so that's really good news. And I want to keep doing what I'm doing, so every time I go, which is again in another 6 months, I'll get the green light that everything's okay again. So that's great. So for me personally, my mental health is fine. My physical health is okay. I could stand to lose a few pounds, probably 10 pounds I need to get down. But other than that, I'm doing really, really good. But everybody else in my family is struggling with one thing or another. My mother has had a really difficult year. At the very beginning of the year, she got diagnosed with breast cancer, and she had a really big lump, and she went through a lot of treatments and chemo and radiation, and then finally she had to go through a surgery process that was in June, and it was touch and go. There were some problems with the pre-op stuff, and she had to get hospital in. It was, I thought for a moment that she was going to pass away, and so it was a very scary period of time. And now we're still 10 months into this, and she's still doing treatments, the post-op stuff, and she's finally starting to see some normalized days and getting some mobility back into her life. So it's been a real struggle for her, and that would be enough for anybody to have to deal with, having your mother go through something like that. But I have my dad going through things at the same time. They're not together. He remarried, but he was dealing with dementia and a whole assortment of health issues, and ultimately it cost him his life in June. He passed away in June, and immediately 2 days later I had to jump on a plane to go help out my in-laws, who are struggling with all sorts of issues in Spain, and I spent 18 days there packing boxes and getting them ready to move from Spain back to the U.S., and they're with us now. So it's just been a real struggle. And then, to also find out that, my boys, my oldest son lost his job, and his wife lost her job due to COVID and layoffs and all these sorts of things, because they were in the food industry and the restaurants and all that stuff. They took a big hit during that time. They've since been able to get work, but for a stretch there it was very stressful. They lost their home. They had to find a new place to live. My middle son also actually got COVID and had to battle with that. Lost his job. Had his phone and his wallet and things stolen. breakdown of a car, all kinds, a bunch of things happening in his life. My youngest son, school and everything was such a struggle. He ended up relocating and moving from our home back to Miami, so a big relocation. And if you've ever done a move or a relocation, that's always stressful. And my daughter is now in her senior year of high school, and it's supposed to be a great year, and you would hope that your senior year in high school is going to be great, but COVID has shut down some events, and she's had to spend some days and even weeks in virtual schooling. She did basically her whole junior year in virtual schooling, so she's going through some issues as well, and we would like to be there fully for her to get to go through this incredible event, her last year in school. My best friend the other day, last week actually, underwent double bypass open heart surgery, and that was very scary for the whole family. I mean, it was very close. My best friend, and so that was a tough situation, and he still got a lot of rehab to go through. My in-laws are struggling with some cognitive decline, as everybody is uncertain about what's going to happen, in the near future. There's just been a number of other health scares, so it's been a very difficult health year. And all of these things start to weigh on you after a while, and it makes you wonder, why it is that you're doing what you're doing each and every day when all these things are happening. So, with all these things on my mind and on all of our minds, it's just, it makes it hard for you and for me in particular to want to go out and just go and help everybody when it seems like there's a big demand right now close at home. People close at home need help. And so sometimes when we're looking at the bigger goals, they just seem too far away. And that's kind of where I'm at. That's where my mojo, my spark is missing, to go for the bigger goal of helping the world and helping parents and helping children and helping people understand their minds and their brains, and working towards mind mastery and communication skills and all the things that I teach in all my courses. When there's so many things happening close to me right now. And so my motivation is not changed in a sense, because it feels like it's gone, but it's just been redirected. And where it's been directed to is just closer to home. And so when you guys go through something like this, I want you to, some of you may be struggling with this now. Where did your motivation go? Sometimes that goal that you're shooting for down the road and you just don't feel like doing it, maybe it's time to just look at who you are and make sure you're still authentic and you're following your values and you're doing the things that make you the best you possible. And if it's about working on you, just keep working on you. Maybe have to scale it back a little bit, but still focus on you. And that's what I've been doing. I'm just scaling it back a little bit. I'm still helping people. I'm just helping those people that are closer to me right now, because there's a big cry for help, emotional help, and sometimes it's been a little financial help. We've been helping out financially with some family members as well. Whatever kind of help we can provide is what we try to do, and that's kind of where we're at. So when we look at moving towards the end of this year, we may be disappointed in where we're at in terms of our goals, because that's kind of where I'm at. I know my big goals for 2021 have not been met. There doesn't look like it's anything that I've set for myself in terms of my big goals to hit by the end of the year will even get close to happening. And for that matter, I've set goals in 2020 that were supposed to roll over to 2021, and it's being pushed back even further because of all the things I've already mentioned. And it's just, hard at times for you and for me and for anybody to just get up and go, 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 and shoot for the goal, shoot for the goal, shoot for the goal. But the goal really is, and it has always been, even on the bigger scale, true to my values, which is connection. My family needs me now. My friends need me now. And I have to connect with them. That's true to my values. When everything is, doing well and everybody is in a good place and family's health is good and everybody's, not needing my help anymore, then boom, I'm free to give to a bigger audience, so to speak. So I wanted to share that personal story with you guys because I'm sure there's a lot of us going through this loss of motivation. How do you get motivated when you just don't feel like it anymore? Sometimes it's just all about taking a pause and looking at this more objectively. What are you trying to do? Yeah, maybe the big goal isn't doable right now because there are important things happening, but you don't have to stop moving forward. You're just going to move in smaller steps, and you're going to take care of your immediate surroundings. Take care of yourself, take care of your friends, take care of your family. Take care of those people that you love, because that's really the most important thing. Yeah, it'd be nice to help everybody in the world, and that's a big goal of mine. But the truth of the matter is if we all take care of ourselves, and we take care of those that are right around us and closest to us, if we each took that approach, the world wouldn't need so much of my help. We'd be all doing our own part, and we could all have just an optimal experience in life. And that's really what I want. So not that I can go out and wave a magic wand or go out and impact everybody personally one to one, but just the idea, just sharing the idea. If we can get that across to people, that might be all that needs to happen to make the change that I'm looking for. So I wanted to share that with you guys, and I want you to think and know that in this small group that we have, it's 76 members, if you're losing your mojo, if you don't feel motivated, just drop a line. You can contact me on my messenger here in the group, or drop a post here in the group, and we can all talk about it. We can all lean on each other. Sonia's awesome when it comes to being very positive and keeping our spirits high. But sometimes when it's really personal, that those words might not sink in so well. So if you got something deeper you want to talk about, you can share that with the group. Or if you don't feel like sharing things with the whole group, you can instant message me or send me a private message, and I'll work with you. I can do that sparingly now because the group is so small. And of course, the big goal was for this year to really open the school and get it going. I'm still working on the means to make that happen. And once it gets going, because I'm not stopping anytime soon, we'll start to see a bigger influx of people. And when we get the bigger numbers, I won't be able to help as many people one-to-one. So it'll be more group-oriented. And then hopefully we'll get some other people in here that are at a position to help other people. And that's how this thing is going to get going. Okay? So there you have it. Get out there, find your mojo. If it's not out there, it's probably inside. Remember, love yourself and love those around you, and do everything you can in your life to make this day the best possible day, tomorrow the best possible day, next week the best possible week, every day the best possible of you, the best possible that you have control over, and just live yourself an optimal life. Okay, so that's going to wrap up this week's Monday motivation meeting. And do I have sunglasses today? Oh yeah, I got these. I think you guys have seen these. I got a whole collection of sunglasses. I'm going to share different ones with you, but I don't have we'll do a repeat here. Anyhow, guys, live long and prosper. Be cool in life. Go through life being cool, right? Be cool. You know what that means. just don't stress out, right? And share the love.